Hey there, this is Greg Spackman, and I'm here today to talk about the pros and cons of living in Salt Lake City. I have 6 pros and 6 cons, and a bonus one if you'll stick around to the end that I'll share with you. So if you're looking to make a move into the Salt Lake City area, I'd love to talk to you about it. Please reach out. My contact info is below and in the description, and let's just get right started. So pro number 1 would be the airport here. The airport here is super nice. It has some great food options. It even has some places you can eat that you can't get anywhere else here in Utah, which is Pick-Up Sticks and Panera Bread. For whatever reason, they're not here in Utah. If you've eaten there, then you'll appreciate it. They have a dedicated spot when you're dropping people off or picking people up that you can sit at and wait to make sure, or wait until their plane has landed. When you go outside of the airport, there'll be numbers at the curb like 7C so that you can just text your people that are picking you up and let them know where you're at. So it'll be really easy for them to find you, which is super convenient. Security lines are not really all that bad most of the time. However, under the very, very busy times, it will be a wait. So make sure you plan accordingly. But every time I've flown out, I've gotten there around an hour before my flight and had no issues at all with security. They do have the clear system, and you can get the other boarding pass one so that you can skip the line. So know that that's possible too. Con number 1, the drivers here are terrible. So if you're wanting drivers who know how to drive, this is definitely not a great thing for Utah. For whatever reason, we have some of the worst drivers that I've seen anywhere in the country. And I've lived in a few different states, and Utah seems to have the worst ones. They love to drive super fast on the freeway, and then they love to just switch lanes. People don't know how to use a blinker here at all. The drivers here just are not all that great. However, you can get past that, then this is a great place. Pro number 2, we have friendly people here. And I've always thought that Southerners were the friendliest people. Well, the people in Utah give them a good run for their money because people here are generally nice to everyone. So know that if you move here and you're maybe not the friendliest person with other people, if you're friendly to them, they're going to be friendly back. And it's just really nice to have people that are friendly. Con number 2 would be the alcohol rules. So here in Utah, they have some really strange and weird rules, like you can't buy alcohol on Sunday. They have state-run stores where you get the really good stuff. Don't worry, you can still get 2.5% beer at the supermarket or gas station. Just don't plan on getting it on a Sunday. They have some other things like if you're at a restaurant, you have to order food, I guess, in order to be able to get a drink, which seems kind of weird, but that's just the alcohol rules here. So alcohol, if you like to drink, you just want to make sure that you plan ahead and you know what you're getting out for, so you don't end up Sunday football game and then you wanted alcohol, so you go to run to the store and then they're closed. Pro number 3 would be the proximity to world-class skiing and snowboarding. There are 14 resorts within an hour drive from Salt Lake City, and they're Con number 3 would be religion. Some areas you will have an issue with religion if you're not of one particular faith here, which would be Mormon faith. However, I haven't really seen it be an issue in the Salt Lake area. It's more the outskirts areas or towns, but know that they can be an issue. And in the it's probably a bigger deal than what people are making it out to be, because as we've lived here, we don't really see that be a problem. However, on Facebook, you definitely will see the antis go after them. So know that ahead of time. Ask your agent or do some research online and make sure that if religion is a big deal for you, make sure that you're having that looked into so that you don't make a mistake. Pro number 4 would be the mountains to the east. And you get to look at these every single day, other than when it's smoggy or we have the California graces us with their fires and the smoke. But most days you get to look at the mountains, and they are amazing to look at. It makes it easy if you're driving and you wanted to know where you are. Like, you'll be able to see the mountains off to the east, so you know which way you need to go to get where you're trying to go. The mountains look completely differently in the wintertime with the snow on them as they do during the summertime. And I'll try and add a couple pictures here right now that you can see what it looks like in the summer and in the winter. Con number 4 would be traffic. So depending upon where you're moving from or where you're coming from, you may or may not think that this is traffic. So if you're moving from someplace like Los Angeles or Dallas, where they have real traffic and it takes you forever to go like a mile, we definitely do not have that here. However, after you've kind of adjusted to the traffic, it gets kind of annoying with what traffic we have. However, during most parts of the day, we don't have traffic. So at like 2 p.m., if I want to drive down south to, say, Orem, and I'm leaving from Salt Lake City, I can do 75 on the freeway, no problem, the whole way, other than an accident, which you really couldn't control no matter where you are. But know that traffic can be an issue at rush hour times, just like driving on some of the streets are that way when they're backed up with everyone trying to get home or get to work. But traffic would be my con number 4. Pro number 5 would be the outdoors. And we have skiing, like I mentioned above, snowboarding, we have hiking. There's fabulous hikes here, some of the most amazing peaks that you can hike up, just a bunch of trails that lead you to lakes. I did a hike for something called Donut Falls, which was super cool. There's just a ton of hiking that you can do. If you're not into hiking, you still have plenty of other things like camping. Camping here is great because it's just dry heat, so you don't have that humid sweatiness that you have elsewhere in the country. There's boating. We have a ton of lakes here and rivers and streams for fishing and kayaking and float tubing, just whatever you want to do outdoors. There's plenty of golf courses if you're into golfing. If you're a Jeeper like I am, then you have Moab, which is about a 4-hour drive away for some of the best off-roading in the world. They do an Easter Jeep Safari that I've done once so far that I'll be doing again next year. Basically, anything that you want to do. Oh, I should mention rock climbing and anything that you're looking to do in the outdoor space that doesn't involve an ocean, you could do here. So outdoors is a big piece here. You'll see that lots of people do outdoorsy stuff during the summer, and then they'll switch and do different things during the wintertime. So outdoors is pro number 5. It really shouldn't be number 5 like on the list if we were doing like a ranking system, but it's just one. It just happens to be number 5. Con number 5 would be house prices. Utah is not a cheap place to live anymore. It used to be until everyone learned what Utah has to offer. The average price right now is somewhere around $630,000 for a home here. It's continued to go up due to the demand for housing and the scarcity of land that we have here. Most of the land here is not able to be built on. It's owned by the federal government. So know that land here is just going to keep going up. So if you're thinking of making a move, the sooner you do it, the better, the cheaper it's going to be for you as far as that goes. I do have a monthly market report for Salt Lake City that you can watch that gives you an update of it every month. I have a new one coming out in a couple days. So know that house prices here could be a sticker shock, depending upon where you're moving from. If you're moving from some of the other areas like California and Washington, then $630,000 for a home is not a big deal. Pro number 6 is the strong job market. So if you want to get a job and a good paying job, you can definitely do that here. We have an innovative population. We're well educated. We have amazing tech jobs. They don't call it the Silicon Slopes for nothing. So know that as far as job goes, this is a great area for job growth and for you to get a job if you're moving your company. It's a great city to move to bring your company here, and you'll be able to get good employees. Everything about the job market here is fantastic. Con number 6 would be gambling. We don't have a lottery here in Utah. We're one of 2 states that have some of the strictest rules on gambling out of all the states. You can't really do anything as far as gambling. You can't even gamble on Indian land here in Utah. If you're looking to get your gambling fix on, then you're going to need to drive about an hour and 45 minutes to Wendover, Nevada, which is just out the 80 freeway towards Reno. Or you can head down I-15 and get to Las Vegas, and that's 5.5, 6 hours. It's a great drive. Driving down, you can drive 80 the whole way, and the scenery is fantastic the whole way down. You get to see mountains for the most part, so it's not as boring as some other parts of the country when you're trying to drive to Vegas. Like if you're coming from Southern California to Vegas, it's really boring once you get past like Barstow. It's just desert and nothing, and it's not even cool to look at. You're just hoping to get to Baker, so then you're close to getting to state line to getting to Vegas. So know that if you're a gambler, that we just don't have that here in Utah. But I've just gone to Vegas to do my gambling, so it hasn't been an issue for me. Thank you for making it this far. So now we're going to go into a pro and con. And so the pro and con number 1 would be the sunset here in the summertime. It happens about 9 p.m., which means it doesn't get dark till after 10 usually, which is kind of a challenge if you have to get up early, because it feels kind of weird that you're going to bed and it's still light out. However, it's really cool if you work a 9-to-5 job and you get off at 5, you could go eat, and then you can go do something. You want to go for a hike, you want to go for a drive. Like you still have 4 or 5 hours to do stuff. So it's kind of a pro and a con, but you'll get used to it when you're here, and you'll probably really enjoy it, because then in the wintertime it gets dark faster, so it feels, I don't know, you just look forward to being back to springtime when it starts to stay light longer. Pro and con number 2 would be the population. Utah has about 3.2 million people currently. However, they're packed into a greater area than some places. And we're kind of like, we have a northern part of Utah where there's people, then we have Salt Lake, and then we have St. George, and then you kind of have some out east, but for the most part, most people are congregated around the Salt Lake City, like an hour radius of Salt Lake is where the majority of the people live. So just know that if you don't want a lot of people and you want to live in a smaller town, then you need to move to some of the outskirts areas, and you can definitely find something for what you're looking for. I really appreciate you watching this much. If you found value, please like and subscribe, and really appreciate a comment below of what you thought of the video, what you think I should do another video on, what would be interesting for you. If you're looking to make a move, please reach out. You can see my contact info below. It's also in the description. So thank you again, and see you next time.